Indeed, India correspondent Amritpal Singh joins us from Florida, and also Shubhendu Ghosh is joining us from Washington, D.C. A very good morning to both my colleagues from India. Amritpal, first of all, coming to you, the results are coming faster than expected. What is the latest from Florida on the results and the celebrations, Amrit?
That's right, Deepika. The results are coming faster than expected because, and they are on the lines that the projections were made, and that's why you saw Donald Trump give his acceptance speech and Kamala Harris give a concession speech, which basically means that she concedes that she's lost out on the race, but she made a very important point that we might have lost the election, but not the fight. So clearly, Donald Trump poised with a very comfortable majority. Projections put him at about 295 to 226 of Harris. The 270 is the halfway mark. It'll be a few days before the results come in, though in most counties 90-95% of the votes have been counted. Arizona is going a bit slow, but it looks like that Donald Trump, because the projections and the leads are very, very clear, so the results would be on expected lines, Deepika. And right now the projections put him, as I said, at 295 to 226 to Harris. So that's what the picture looks like right now, Deepika.
Shubhendu, coming on to you, the Reds are romping the results with lead in swing states as well. How phenomenal has this altogether been, considering what we've seen Donald Trump saying while casting his vote? Shubhendu.
Right, Deepika. I mean, clearly, they're not really behaving like swing states. It's a sweep. The manner in which the swing states have, barring Michigan, have turned red speaks volume about the manner in which a lot of pollsters, opinion polls, got it wrong. It didn't look like a close contest. Donald Trump seems to be, and Republican Party, the Reds, are sweeping across the United States. 295 is the number I'm looking at the moment as far as the Electoral College votes are concerned. A couple of more states to go, and we'll have the final number as well. Of course, the actual inauguration of the presidency will take time, but this has been an absolutely historic election, and what a win for Donald Trump. For many weeks down the line, we'll get to know further analysis as to how did the election turn around like this. But it does appear for now that all sections of society across states have in fact come out in support of Donald Trump. Also sections which traditionally one would believe may not support the Republicans in great numbers, such as African American population, women voters and others, and Latinos. But the numbers as they stand and the red sweep that we're looking at, it clearly seems that every section has come out in support for Donald Trump. So a big win for him, quite unprecedented in recent American history.
Indeed. Amritpal, talking about the India angle now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called and extended greetings to Donald Trump. Now, having considered the strong India-US ties in so many sectors, how are we expecting the ties to boost further with Trump taking over the presidency now?
Modi was one of the first world leaders to call Mr. Trump and congratulate him on his spectacular victory. He later posted on X saying, I congratulated my friend Donald Trump for a great comeback. And, the India-US relationship, irrespective of who comes to the White House, is a stable relationship. Personal chemistry, of course, does add a certain amount of vigor to the relationship. I think the relationship, which is a comprehensive strategic relationship, would see renewed vigor, spanning over the wide array of sectors that it transverses, like defense, energy, technology, space. So I think as Mr. Trump takes office in the coming months and forms his team, the two sides would be providing a new vigor to the relationship to take it from the position of strength that it is to greater heights, Deepika.
Indeed, India is looking forward to it. And now, Shubhendu, but it is not a cakewalk for Donald Trump. And Trump's legal team is expected to request the New York judge to cancel sentencing in hush money case as well. What more can you tell us about that, Shubhendu?
That's right, Deepika. These elections are about many firsts, including a former president and a president-elect who's facing a dozen or so charges in the court and so many cases being pending. But there are some perks that come with being elected to the most powerful office in the world. There is a concept of presidential immunity that will come into play in about 2 months from now when the inauguration happens. Donald Trump, from president-elect, will become the 47th president of the United States, and once that happens, he cannot be prosecuted for the period at least till he's the president. Also, his influence would enable him to get rid of these cases in the due course of time. So in many ways, the number of cases that are lined up against him, this great sweep, the presidency, with that also comes the opportunity for him to get rid of these cases that have haunted him for the past few days. So presidential immunity is the phrase that he would be happy to learn about, and that is something that will protect him from being prosecuted in any of the cases that are there in the court ahead. Deepika?
Amritpal, would you like to add something to that?
That's right. I agree with Shubhendu completely that, presidential immunity is going to kick in, and that will save Donald Trump because he's got cases, one, and second, he's been convicted of felony, etc. The only reason that he could vote in Florida was because in New York, you do not go to jail for conviction on felony. If he had gone to jail, he wouldn't have been able to vote here in Florida. So he did cast his vote. But I think right now the focus is to how, the biggest question that's being debated in that beach house of his, Mar-a-Lago, where he's sitting with his strategist, is to look at who should be the next, who should be part of his team now. Everybody who came to the party yesterday, to the watch party yesterday, cancelled their tickets because they are vying and lobbying for jobs. And the most important job right now, though generally in the US cabinet, the most important job is that of a Secretary of State or the Secretary of Treasury. But AG, Attorney General's job, is being seen as the most important job and being hotly debated here because Donald Trump would want a man of his choice in the position of the AG so that he can start dealing with the judicial cases right away. So I think that is what is being spoken about in political circles here. When I speak to Republicans about who could be in his transition team, there are all kinds of names doing rounds, from the current AG of Texas to Senator Dumion. So there are, that's a prized position right now that's being hotly debated, and Donald Trump would want his loyalist in that job, Deepika.
All right. Thank you so much, Amritpal and Shubhendu Ghosh, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on the key developments currently happening across the United States.